We get married and have families, but is it really, do we really use that for all it can provide in terms of the depth and breadth of the experience of living? And I think that's just a wonderful. Hi. One of the things I like about these videos is that I get to talk about things that are important to me or things that I enjoy. And one of them, and something I'm eager to share with you, is a television show I saw more than 60 years ago. I was a young teenager at the time, and the show was called Adventures in Paradise, and it was based on the James A. Michener novels about travels in the South Pacific, about a boat called the Tiki 3 that was carrying cargo and people from island to island. And in this particular program, because of a storm, the boat got shipwrecked on an island that was not charted, and they were stranded there, and they discovered that there was in fact a culture on the island. There were people there, and after they were introduced to them, they learned that these people were the generations since of a shipwreck that had happened generations ago, and this culture had developed from that particular set of people, and it was fairly large. And as they got to know this culture, the culture was based around a religion, and the people on the island were eager to share their religion, which they thought was wonderful and finally would give them salvation. And they taught them some of the sacred formulae. And one of the sacred formulas they all learned was this: the cosine is the ratio of the opposite over the hypotenuse. And another of the sacred formulae were the sine is the ratio of the opposite over the adjacent, or over the hypotenuse. Try to remember these things, which are, of course, basic trigonometry formulas, which the people on the new boat recognized immediately. And then later they learned that they had sacred books. And when they were shown the sacred books were books on geometry and map making and charting. And then finally they showed them their holy relics. And the holy relics were things like a protractor and a compass and map making tools. And finally they realized that this was the legacy of the people who had originally been stranded there. And over the generations, their descendants knew that these tools were in fact the secret to their escape from being trapped on this island. But in fact, as time went on, they worshiped the tools rather than learning how to use them. And that was the whole point. And so often that happens, I think, to us in modern life, where we're involved in things really at a superficial level. We've learned to appreciate the tools or worship the tools without really having understood how to use them. Things like careers, things like houses. We build houses, but do we really live in them the way we can? We get married and have families, but is it really, do we really use that for all it can provide in terms of the depth and breadth of the experience of living? And I think that's just a wonderful question to ask and a wonderful lesson to learn, and I owe it all to a television program I saw in 1960. I hope you appreciate it too. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel.